We'll discuss the custom of fasting on Erev Pesach, which we call Ta'anit Bechorot. Ta'anit Bechorot, it's put in Masechet Sofrim. It's one of the small Masechtot. And the Shulchan Aruch brings that as a custom that we fast on, the firstborns fast on Erev Pesach as a remembrance to the great miracle Hashem did to the Jewish people, that He spared the firstborns from the Jewish nation when He punished the Bechorei Mitzrayim, the firstborns of Mitzrayim. So I just want to give a little summary of the halachot of Ta'anit Bechorot. The practice is that only the male Bechorim, which are Bechorot, that fast on Erev Pesach. However, the females don't have a custom to fast, even though the Shulchan Aruch does bring an opinion to say that even the females should fast too. And there's a proof to this from the Midrash that talks about that God spared Batya, the daughter of Paro. However, the common practice is that women do not fast on Erev Pesach for Ta'anit Bechorot. Now, initially, the fast was a serious fast. The custom was the people fasted the whole day on Erev Pesach. And that's where the custom comes from, that on the Seder night, people rush to have an egg by the Manishtana, even though the egg is eaten as a remembrance of the Korban Pesach, Zecher Korban Hagigah, that it was cooked. Could be cooked, could be roasted. So therefore, Zecher Korban Hagigah should be eaten in the Shulchan Aruch, in the main part of the meal. Why do we eat the egg as early as the Manishtana? It's because the Bechorim was so hungry that they rushed to satisfy the hunger by doing the practice of eating the egg already by Manishtana. We'll discuss that in due course. However, as weakness has come to the world a little bit, people are less tolerant. So we all know that it is a Seudat Mitzvah, for instance, a Brit Milah or a Pidyon Ben, where the mitzvahs on that day, there's an allowance for people who are fasting to participate in that Seudah. Obviously, these are not talking about the national fasts of the 4 fasts. We talk about fasts which are Koach HaMinhag. So that mitzvah can interrupt that fast. I want to tell you that the Magen Avraham and the Ben Ish Chai rules that those people who participate in a Seudat Mitzvah on Erev Pesach are only entitled to eat in that Seudah, in that feast. And once they get home, they have to continue the fast until the evening. However, again, the practice is not like that. And the minhag is not like that. I just want to tell you that I was just recently visited Prague. The great Rav Epstein in his book, Shelot Utshuvot Kapei Aharon, brings in the name of the Nodab Yehuda that the custom in Prague was like the custom in Iraq as well, and in many communities, that they used to properly fast. They never participated in what we call today a Siyyum Masechet. Let me explain. Some want to regard ending a Masechet, which is one of the tractates of the Talmud, if one ends it and people come to participate in a semicha of Siyyum, that will also be regarded like a Seudat Mitzvah, and one can participate there and eat. And then, so that became a common practice that people come and join a Siyyum Masechet on Erev Pesach, because the possibility of having a Brit Milah or Pidyon Ben are quite rare on Erev Pesach. So therefore, people plan a Siyyum Masechet on Erev Pesach in order to help people not have to fast on Erev Pesach. So that's become common practice, even though in many communities, they never participated in Siyyum Masechet. They never relied on this leniency. However, nowadays it's become common practice. If there's a practice like that, that's what we do. And that's why people come to the Beit HaKnesset. Now, this is very important that people should know. Only those people who actually participate at the Siyyum Masechet and are present at the time the person who is concluding this tractate, this Masechet of Gemara, is explaining, and he participates and he's part of the semicha. But people who just come casually and not even listen to what the rabbi or the hacham or whoever is doing the Siyyum Masechet is doing, and they go and they eat the food, and what is this? They've taken the less important part, and the important part is not even part of it. It's incorrect. you should listen to the Divrei Torah which are being said, and then there's a chance you'll be part of the rejoicement of the person who's concluding the Masechet. And then you eat. Those people who take food from the Siyyum Masechet and take it home for the firstborns who are home, it doesn't help anything. Maybe for young children under Bar Mitzvah it might help, but it will help. But for people over, if they have not been present at the time the Siyyum Masechet, there's no help for them. Even if they come late and the Masechet is expired, they've done it already, then also they can't eat. So if we have to make sure you participate in Siyyum Masechet. Now, what is considered a Siyyum Masechet? Obviously, one of the tractates of the Talmud. That's significant. That takes a lot of effort and work for a person to finish a Masechet. So therefore, upon completion, there's rejoicement. What about Siyyum Masechet Mishnayot, what we call today? Mishnayot is the other Talmud. That's really not a big simcha. There's some opinions which hold that it'll only help for the person who's doing the Siyyum himself if he does only Mishnayot. For other people to rejoice in his simcha, it's very weak. However, in extreme circumstances where a person cannot participate in the Siyyum Masechet Talmud, then it'll be sufficient if he learns a Masechet of Mishnayot, or even if he participates in someone else's Siyyum Masechet Mishnayot. But lechatchila, in first instance, people should rely on this. Too big of a leniency, which goes against the minhag of the Ta'anit Bechorot. It is customary that if a person is not a firstborn, but he has a son who's a firstborn. Now, firstborn means whether he's a firstborn from father or firstborn to the mother. It's very important to point this out. It's a custom that people who have firstborn children, even though they're not firstborn, they come and they fast instead. But it's only a practice. This is not a halacha that people have to be so particular on. If they're not bechorim, then they're patur from doing, even if they have their son. But it's customary to come or to bring a piece of cake to the child to come and eat. Or if he's a baby, then the father participates at the Siyyum Masechet. Now, I've got to point out that generally the Siyyumim are done in a Bet Knesset. A Bet Knesset has to be treated with respect. If it's a Bet Knesset which they learn Torah in it as well, so it'd be regarded like a Bet Midrash. And therefore, one would be allowed to participate in a Siyyum Masechet and eat at the Siyyum Masechet, even though it's taking place inside the synagogue. Because it's considered a Bet Midrash, and for a Sudat Mitzvah, one can eat even in a Bet Midrash for Sudat Mitzvah, because it's a mitzvah purpose. However, we should be treated with respect. People who have alcohol and a lechaim for the Siyyum Masechet, it's wrong. It shouldn't take place inside the Bet Midrash. Alcohol should not be drunk in a Bet Knesset or a Bet Midrash. There's no excuse for that. Ideally, if you can take the food and eat it out. Now, Erev Pesach becomes an issue what exactly you can serve at the Siyyum Masechet, because you can't eat matzah, you can't eat hametz to bring into the Bet Knesset, even though it's before the end time of the eating of hametz, but you don't bring after they've checked for hametz in the Bet Knesset, Bet Midrash, you start bringing hametz in. It's not, you have to be very careful with these things. So the custom is to bring fruits, grapes preferably, as you make halaetz on it, and have to have wine, grape juice, not wine, grape juice in the Bet Midrash, and then you'll be able to say ala kefen al peri kefen, which is one of the 7 species, one of the 7 minim, and that gives more significance to the Seudah, to the Simcha, which they're joining at Erev Pesach. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen ve'Amen.